G'day all, welcome to 2025 to Rugby Heartland Chat. I'm Kevin here and welcome to the new studio. We've finally got it set up in the Rabbit Burrow, having a few drinks throughout the year. We've got heaps on, but hey, Super Rugby starts today. You know who I'm going for, but I suppose we better level the playing field and bring in someone that's from the South Island, one Mr. Mike Sheehan. G'day, Mike. Happy New Year. Happy 2025.
Yeah, good morning, Rabs. Yeah, happy New Year to you, and we're back into it for another year.
I know, and of course, straight away, only one ear works. But that's okay. Yeah, no, we're back into it, and well, I mean, what have we got to look forward to this year? We've got the Super Rugby, of course, starting. We've got MPC, of course, always great. Farah Palmer Cup. We've got the Women's World Cup. We've got the Six Nations on at the moment. Can the Irish go three-peat? I don't know. It depends on what the English do, because I think they're great now after beating the French. Major League Rugby starts this weekend in America. And all the other rugby from all around the world. But yeah, so should we just get stuck into Super Rugby, the only competition that matters?
Apart from Heartland.
Oh, of course, Heartland. I mean, Heartland is the jewel in the crown of world rugby. End of story. So yeah, and to anybody that's watching our show for the first time, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube and stuff like that. If you think we're talking a lot of shit, just throw it in the comments and we'll try and answer the question. So I've got my comments part now listed up on my screen in front of me. So if you do want to say anything, have a chat. But I suppose we literally need to go, and I'll just sort this out so you don't see all that. So, Super Rugby. Oh, probably in trouble now because Rugby Heartland's used Super Rugby logo. Ooh. Well, to the CEO of Super Rugby, I watched your interviews this week, and you want fan engagement. And you said to all the podcasters out there, we want you to engage. So I'm engaging. So hopefully when we show replays this year, you're not going to block us. So we hope. That's just me having a go. Your thoughts on it, Mike? What do you think of this fan engagement for Super Rugby in 2025? They've only taken 30 years to probably start listening to us.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We need to get more fans engaged, probably not only at Super Rugby level, but at Heartland level as well. We started to see glimpses of that last year throughout the Heartland competition with crowds at matches, and it's good to see. And hopefully, I see the Highlanders have got a bit of a thing going on. Kids get into games free, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, it is. It's brilliant, and I'd be remiss to say that this fantasy rugby thing they're all chiming on about, and what a great idea. It's a new innovation and all that. We do have a link on our Facebook page at Rugby Heartland where you can still got time to jump in pick your own team that has every player available via the Super Brew app. It's really easy to get there. I think there's about 40 or 50 people already on the in the game. So we'll keep an eye on that. You get 100 million, and guess what? You get to pick 4 players from everyone else. Does that sound familiar? The only thing is, we're not trying to bribe you to win 10 grand, because at the end of the day, that's gambling, and we don't. We say gamble responsibly while having a drink responsibly here at Rugby Heartland. So get your money on and have a crack. But of course, Super Rugby starts tonight. There's only one game, isn't there? Woo! Hurricanes! Right, Mr. Sheehan, I'm guessing you're going to go for a team that's wearing red, because I tell you what, like our new fancy graphics, people? Wow. Tell you, I'm onto it. We've got a bar, we've got the graphics, we're going to have great guests throughout the year, but we got the Crusaders playing the Hurricanes. What do you reckon? We'll look at the Crusaders lineup first. See? Woohoo! Flash graphics. So, can your Crusaders, Mr. Mike, and if Rhodey ever wakes up from his night shift, can you get redemption in 2025? Pretty strong forward pack.
Yeah. Well, I'll have you know, I'm actually a Highlander supporter, so I'm going for the Hurricanes tonight. But back to the Crusaders. Yeah, I think it's one of the strongest teams they've fielded. Well, maybe in a while. They've been ravaged with injuries. That's been thrown around social media quite a bit. There's a bit of speculation around the 10, how he's going to go. Will Jordan's come back. He looks really excited to be back. And, Ethan Blackadder's still injury-free, so that's a good sign.
Well, yeah, should we take bets on when he will get injured? I mean, really, he's got to be one of the most unluckiest footballers in New Zealand. You think, okay, here we go. We're going to see the best of Blackadder. And next time we see him, it's in NPC playing for Tasman. You know? So we hope that he stays fit and strong. They've got a really, really strong bench as well, though. And they got some new guy, number 22, James O'Connor. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. Obviously, he's a ex Australian international. Played for the Reds, or was it the Brumbies? Reds, I think, wasn't it?
Reds, England, France. He's played for Japan. Yeah, he's a journeyman. He is a journeyman.
Yeah. No, I seen some. I seen the footage from Kiwi when they played down here. He started at number 10 and showed glimpses of what he can do. So hopefully he gets a run, and good to see Dallas McLeod on the bench as well. Good old Methven boy.
Yeah, well, exactly. And don't forget Cullen Grace from South Canterbury as well, starting at number 6. So, but yeah, Dallas McLeod, he's just signed a new contract as well with the Crusaders going forward. I tell you, it's going to be an interesting battle because, the Crusaders, you don't win 7 in a row and then write them off because they had one bad year. I know I just said that, but unfortunately, the team does have to come second because we don't have draws anymore. And I did hear the CEO for Super Rugby calling it the Super Point. It could go to Super Point. So I'm guessing that's the new phrase we got for the bullshit golden point. If it's a draw, it's a draw. If you're worried about player welfare, stop playing an extra half an hour after they've bashed themselves for 90 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's my thought and theory, and I'll stick to that. But of course, there's a team coming down south to have a crack, and that is the mighty Hurricanes. We fell short last year in the semi-final. I'm sure they learned a lot there. Great front row, Namia, Devry, and Mafaleo. Isaiah Walker-Laweri, he's getting a bit long in the tooth now. Don't forget, he's been around a long time. Caleb Delaney's in there. Brad Shields back again from England, one of the team captains. Brady Iosi, I think he's a great replacement for Artie Savia. You can't go past Duplessis Karevi. And, I mean, Cam Roygard there at halfback. Those first 9, I mean, it's a formidable pack. And, you know, with Cam Roygard back in action, feeding the backs from the back of the scrum, I think that's going to be awesome. The number 10, though, will be interesting. Harry Godfrey can be great. Ex-Wanganui, ex-Heartland player. You know, so, hey, shout out to Heartland areas, but he's now from the Hawke's Bay. He's got the pivotal number 10 role there because, you know, we do have a few players out on the injured list at the moment. Umanga Jensen at centre with Baden Sullivan. And then, of course, Waisaki's bro, Kinney on the left wing and Fihi on the right wing. And, of course, debut at fullback for one, Callum Harkin. Don't know a lot about Callum, but hopefully he'll be something to look forward to. And then, of course, on the bench, you know, Rakiti Stones, Palisi Tossi, great buy there from the Bay of Plenty and All Blacks, of course. Hugo Plummer, I believe he's the brother of Harry Plummer. If I can be corrected, if you want to comment in the posts in the bottom. And of course, we've got Peter Larkai. If he has a season like he did last year, it'll be great. Area Neri, back up to Cam Roygard, Riley Hohepa, and Naitanu Punavai. So what I'm trying to get at there is that is a very strong first up Hurricane squad.
Yeah, 6, 7, and 8 are. I'm really excited to see how they go. Duplessis Karifi is obviously a natural leader, and he's a very, very good player. Cam Roygard and with Harry Godfrey outside him, I watched that pre-season game from Moinui Amata. Roygard sliced him open like a can of sardines. He was only on for 20, 30 minutes, but he showed glimpses of what he can do.
Yeah.
And Harry Godfrey outside him, Umanga Jensen, and the big boys at the back. But obviously very well coached by Clark Laidlaw. He's been around a while. He's got a ton of experience. So I'm excited to see what they can do this year.
Yeah, well, the reason I am excited about this game tonight is it is a flip of the coin. I mean, are we going to see the Crusaders of old? Are the Hurricanes going to learn from their semi-final defeat last year? I mean, they're all going on about, we got the repeat of the bloody grand final, the Chiefs and the Blues, which we'll come to later. But this is the game of the round for me. I mean, this is going to be a humdinger because whoever, at the end of the day, you win that first game, you've got points on the board and you're away. You're out of the gate. And and if you drop this game, you got a lot of catching up to do because the thing is, the Hurricanes will be busting to win away because it's the home games you got to win. So I'm going to come out and I'm going to go the Hurricanes to win by 3.
Yeah, well, obviously the Crusaders have got everything to prove and nothing to lose, so it's important they get a good start. Obviously, there's been a bit of chat around social media around the coaches and blah blah blah, but put all that aside and just let these two teams have a go at each other and see what happens.
Yeah, all bets are off. Basically, it's game on now. None of this bloody kick and giggle bullshit.
Yeah.
So So okay, I said Hurricanes by 3. You haven't said how many by whom.
I get Hurricanes by 8.
8. Okay, so I just want to get that on record so that if we are right, we can say we said it right last week. So and plus then I'll come back and I'll write it down after the show. So okay, so Hurricanes, are they going to get a bonus point? Oh no, they won't get a bonus point because you've got to win by 3 unless they do a shitload of kicks. Yeah. Okay. So after that though, we have ta-da! See, another fancy graphic from a Rugby Heartland. Allianz Stadium in Sydney, not Allianz Stadium at Twickenham. Because Allianz Stadium in America and Spain and wherever. But we'll look at the one in Sydney and in Sydney, mate. And so we've got the Waratahs who've got half the what do you call them? Rebels now playing for them. We've got Ethan de Groot playing tonight for the Highlanders, or as the Aussies would go, the Highlanders. And well, he just got married over the Christmas period. So congratulations to him and Mrs. de Groot. Saw that on the telly the other night. So, yeah, we'll have a look. And first we will look at the Aussie team, and we'll just zoom in there so people can see all the starting lineup to number 12. So we've got Angus Bell, Dave Parecki, and Tanali Tupou, the Tongan destroyer, who's was with Queensland, was with Melbourne, and now he's at New South Wales. So there's one. Well, the thing is, how long will he be on the field for? He normally comes on for like 20 minutes, doesn't he? To tell the honest truth. You got Hugh Sinclair, Miles Emo Tosiro in the locks, Rob Leota, Charlie Gamble, and Longy Gleeson in the back row, Jake Gordon, nuggety bloody halfback, Tane Edmund, great season for North Harbour in the NPC. So the Aussies are filtering a few of these players over here to play NPC to get a bit of game time. And, well, it's paid off for Tane Edmund at number 10. I think he'll go really, really well. And then in the centres, we've got Joe Walton and Lakai Fakati. And then on the wings, Max Jorgensen, Andrew Callaway, and Joseph Akuso Suali, the star that's playing his first Super Rugby game because he got picked for the end of season Wallabies tour, and now he's a superstar, apparently. It will be interesting to see how he performs tonight for the Waratahs. And then on the bench, Mahi Valenu, Tom Lambert, Siosi Amoni, Ben Grant, Jamie Anderson, Jack Grant, Jack Bowen, and Darby Lancaster. About 6 of those guys were from the Rebels. What's your take on the Waratahs this year, Mike?
Yeah, there's a few Rebels in there. Excited to see how obviously Tony Edmed goes, being back from over here, having a little stint over here, and also there's a bit of speed out wide. Andrew Callaway, well, we don't need to go into much detail about how good he is, and Suali at the back. Yeah.
I think they'll be good. I don't think they will be as good as the Aussies are all saying, because all the pre-season pundits basically remember we've got a new finals format now this year with the 11 teams, so you've got to be in the top 6. And I've heard everyone go, "Oh, the Waratahs will be there." I think they'll come 9th this year. I think they'll have a bit of an improvement, but to me, if you get a bunch of journeymen together, and a lot of these guys are, it's a case scenario of you've got to gel them together, and you need more than one season to gel a new team. So the Waratahs have rebuilt from their disaster last year, but I think they'll be mid-table, and I can't see them making the playoffs. But then we go for our New Zealand viewers to the mighty Highlanders. You want to run through the team, Mike, seeing you're the Highlander supporter here.
Yep. Ethan de Groot at 1. Sooni Buccaneer, Diwali Mo, Fabian Holland, and Mitch Dunshea in the locks. Mitch Dunshea I've been really impressed with. Louis Nayata, Hugh Renton, Sean Whitty. And we've got Nathan Hasty, Tane Robinson, who I believe is having his debut today from the Tasman region. Tamosi Tamatamanawa, I believe it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to him. Taniela Talia, Caleb Pangatua, Sam Gilbert, and Michael Manson, who I'm really excited to see what he does this year. He had a really good pre-season game when they played the Crusaders, scored a brilliant try. And in the subs, we've got Henry Bell, Daniel Leonard-Brown, Sefo Kutai, Nikora Broughton, Vavini Lasaka, Bilal Pakatava, who's an excitement machine, Cameron Miller, and Finn Hurley. So it's not a bad team, actually.
It's not a bad team, and it's a strong bench as well, isn't it? And and only because I heard a couple of hiccups from yourself, and I've been doing the hiccups as well. By the end of the season, these names will be rolling off our tongues so well. So if we are making any mistakes, people, don't troll us. Just bear with us that, you know, we've got to get our tongue around some of these names that we've never mentioned before. And but yes, I mean, my favourite one though at the moment is Tamochi Nawai, because I can say it. Or Caleb Tangatau. But yeah, so the Highlanders, Jamie Joseph back in charge. The Emperor has returned to Dunedin. Okay, so I'm just going to. I'll go. I'll let you pick the result first. So, what do you think?
Well, I'm hoping it'll be Highlanders by 10 plus, we'll say 12.
Okay. I've been talking to someone down south today, and I said to them, who you got? They said the Waratahs, and I said, no, I'm going the Highlanders. I think the Highlanders have much to prove. You know, they've got the Emperor in charge again, Jamie Joseph. They've got a relatively good forward pack, and you know, speed to burn in the centres with Tamochi and Caleb on the wing, and as you said, Michael Manson. Sam Gilbert's got a good brain on him at fullback. And, you know, you look at the bench, you know, if Nathan Hasty doesn't perform, well, you can't go past Falau Fakatava. And, you know, Nikora Broughton there to come in the locks. Daniel Leonard-Brown's been around for ages. So, yeah, I'm going the Highlanders to win by 10.
Yeah, you know, good to see Jamie Joseph back. It's a relatively fresh coaching lineup. There's a couple of relatively new heads in there, but they've got Tony Brown back for a couple of weeks. So, you know, his experience and knowledge will be invaluable to them.
Oh, totally. And then on top of that, it's a case scenario of has you know, the party at Tony's place been put on hold in South Africa, so he can come back and show us how the South Africans play. Maybe he's got a few tips and tricks. So, because, you know, I do miss watching the South Africans in Super Rugby, but I guess we have to wait and see what the fans say and how Super Rugby answer to the fans. So, we'll go to the next game, which is on tomorrow, Saturday in Suva. We've got the mighty Fijian Ndrua playing the ACT Brumbies. And I tell you what, teams don't like going to Suva, do they?
No, I'm really excited to see this matchup. And there's one particular fella that's come back from injury that I'm really excited to see, but we'll get to that in a minute. But, yep, always hard to go to Fiji, Suva or Churchill Park in Lautoka and win a game, because they just pack the park, and the support from the fans is truly amazing.
Oh, it is. It's true. I mean, officially, I've seen only holds like 4,000 people, but you'd swear there was 10, 15, 20,000 people at those games with the noise and the atmosphere, the whole shebang. And, you know, Fiji, I mean, they've just, you know, I think, if anything, they are the fairy tale story for Super Rugby. because they're doing everything right. Most of the players play in the Flying Fijians. They throw in a couple of little bloody Olympic gold medal 7 winners, etc., etc., and they're a dynamic unit. If they can pick up, the on the road results this year, they're going to be a hard team, because if they can win on the road, you can normally always circle a W at home for them. So, I mean, heck, they've beaten everyone there. So, and of course, you've got Glenn, the referee. Glenn Jackson is the new coach for Fiji Enduro too. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's the new governor there, and so he's done everything. He's played, he's refereed, he's international refereed, he's coached NPC, he's been with Bay of Plenty, he's now Super Rugby assistants, and now he's the head governor at Fiji. So that will be an interesting one to see how that goes, and it's awesome to see a guy that has pretty much done everything, including running the water. So good luck to Fiji Enduro, but we will have a look at the names. Okay, do we have a toss up at who's going to have a go at them?
No, you can.
All right. Apologies in advance, people. Run us through your fantasy team, please, Rabs, from Mr. Josh Flavel. Well, before I do that, I'll just throw that there. I can do that for you as soon as we finish all the Yahoo on here, Josh, but welcome to the show. And don't forget to jump onto our Heartland page and join our Super Brew fantasy team, because that's a lot better than the Super Rugby one. Because you just know that whoever wins that, well, is not a real person. Because they always go, well, how often do you see those fantasy rugby games? And they go, oh, I know nothing about rugby. I just picked these players and I'm now the champion. And you go, why play if you don't know rugby? Oh, well. But anyway, okay, I've dilly-dallied enough. Here we go.
Should we just skip the names of this one and just do some expert comments, because it looks pretty hard to me?
I'm going to give it a crack.
Okay,
because we're an entertaining show, and I like being trolled, because if people can't troll me, Anyway, here we go. Pariti Hetit, Tavita Ikanavera, Simu Tawaki, that's your front row. Masaka Vokas Voici, Ratu Rotasolio, Joseph Tamani, Elia Kanakavata, Katoni Salawa, at scrum half, Simone Curavolo, number 10, Caleb Muntz, number 12, Kimu Valentini, 13, we've got Isefo Masi, and then we've got Vuati Karawela Vilu, and Ponapati Longamasi, and then at 15, Isikili Rabutu, and then in the reserves we've got Misalami Dolakoto, Levi Natav, Milituni, Velov Miramura, Isoa Tuwai, Frank Lamani, Penny Matawalo, and Tuadraku Samu Vodri. I think I did all right. Only a couple really bad. So I know you want to talk about Isefo Masi.
Yeah, good to see him back from injury. He got injured last year, so he was out for quite a while. I watched him. I followed him quite closely last year, and there was some games there where he scored 2 or 3 tries and just ran through them. He's got gas to burn, so if he gets into space, watch out, because he is a very, very sharp player. I've said it, and I'll still say it. He's probably one of the best inside backs running around at the moment.
Yeah. No, totally. I saw you get very excited the other day when you saw the team list. You went, he's back. So, yeah. No, it'll be awesome. And as I said, we try to be fan-centric here. just like the CEO of Super Rugby has said. So if you disagree with our comments on this show, throw them in the comments and be fan-centric. So we'll have a look at the Brumbies side, and I will let you have a crack at that because they're a bit more European.
Blake Shipp, Billy Pollard, and Bayo Whakatua in the front. Lachlan Shaw and Tom Hooper in the locks. Tuania. I'm not even going to say that. Tai Tuamala.
I think it's Tuanani Tai Tualima.
Yeah, Luke Reimer and Rory Scott. Ryan Lonergan, lower CO. Austin Anderson, Hudson Crichton, Ollie Sapsford, Andy Muirhead, and Corey Toole. And the reserves: Lachlan Lonergan, Langton, Aili, Reese Van Neek, Hayden Neville, Judda, Kuro Samasui, Harrison Goddard, Declan Meredith, and Caden Pritchard.
Yeah, now number 17, LinkedIn Aili, I think it is. At first, I thought that was a spelling mistake. I thought it might have been Ellington or something like that. But yeah, it's an unusual first name. Never seen LinkedIn before. Maybe they thought LinkedIn and thought, oh, we'll have a play on that. So the Brumbies, I mean, they'll be pissed off not getting any World Cup games in 2027. So they'll be wanting to make statements galore. The Brumbies are the only Australian team that scares me, especially when the Canes go to Canberra, even when the Brumbies come to Wellington. It's the fixture I do not like because you do not know what Brumbies team's going to come and get you. And 9 times out of 10, they get you. So, you know, Lola the CEO, he's been making, because the thing is, with these Aussie teams this year, there's a certain team called the British and Irish Lions making a presence in Australia this year. So this year, and I think this is where people have gone on about the Aussie teams being really good this year, is that every game in Super Rugby this year is a trial for the Wallabies and Joe Schmidt for that British Lions series. And so a lot of these guys will be going hard out to make an impression to say, pick me because I want to crack at the Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't be with Joe Schmidt because he's left, but maybe it might be with Ronan Nagara. Who knows?
Well, doesn't Joe Schmidt end with the last Test match against the Kiwis? And so Joe Schmidt's there for the Lions, and then he's there for the Rugby Championship, and then he's finished.
Yeah. But no, getting back to the Brumbies, obviously Noah at 10 and Corey Toole, he's another one that's got a lot of gas, serious gas. And Ollie Sapsford, I think he was over here at one stage, maybe.
Well, he is. He's been playing over in. Sorry, I'm just having a quick look to see if I can find my what do you call it? My fantasy team for young Josh. He's been playing in the Hawke's Bay. So it's a case scenario of and there's a couple actually from Hawke's Bay playing over there, and because there was someone else. There was Ollie Sapsford, and I did see it last night too. The English guy. Was it Caden Pritchard? I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, there's about 4 or 5. Well, actually, quite a lot of Hawke's Bay players in Super Rugby teams this year, with 2 or 3 of them over there in Australia. So, okay, so who are we going to go? If I just, because I like my new graphics, I want to use them more than once. So where are we going? Drua or Brumbies?
I'll go Fiji by 8.
Fiji by 8. Okay, well, depending on the weather, and because I've already talked up the scary team, I will then do our first split decision and go the Brumbies by 12.
Yeah, well, that's another thing to consider too. The weather is, if it's pissing down in Suva, well, the Fijians, it won't worry them because they know how to handle the wet. But yeah, hopefully we'll see some sunshine.
Yeah, I haven't seen the forecast for Suva for this weekend. All I know is it's lovely here in Wellington, and you can't beat Wellington on a good day. So even though we're playing in Christchurch, you still can't beat Wellington on a good day. So that's what I'm saying. So Brumbies by 12. Okay. And you're going the Drua by 8.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Then we've got to talk about it, don't we? Can we just skip this game? Oh, we better not. Okay, so we got the Blues, who are the world champions at everything, playing the Chiefs, who want to be world champions at everything. Mana wave to all my crew up in the Bay of Plenty. And wow, Damien McKenzie's back. Bowden Barrett's back. It is a repeat of last year's grand final. So we'll just jump straight into it, and I'll let you mention the Blues team while I try and find my fantasy team for young. What's it?
Oh, I can't quite see the top of those names.
Oh, sorry.
You cut them off.
Yeah, no, sorry. Oopsie daisy. There we go.
Opa Tungafasi, Ricky Riccatelli, Marcel Renata in the front row, Lachlan McQuannell, Patrick Tuipulotu in the locks, Anton Segner, Cameron Suafoa, and Dalton Papali'i in the loose boards. Funaki at 9, Harry Plummer at 10, AJ Lamb at 13, 12, Rico Ioane 13, and the last three will be Barrett, Clark, and Talia. I'm picking. Reserves. No, you're right.
Sorry, I just found it. There we go.
Yeah, Talia, Clark, Barrett.
Yep.
In the reserves, Nathaniel Pole, Josh Fusiatua, Angus Tuavavo, Shay Clark, Adrian Choke, Finley Christie, Corey Evans, and Cole Forbes.
Yeah. So, will the Scotsman make it back into the All Blacks? That's one question. Or is he just going to be a contracted All Black 15 player for the next 2 years? But Bowden Barrett is back, which is always a good thing in New Zealand rugby, even though he's playing for the enemy. Caleb Clark, Mark Talia on the wings. Well, I don't know how to say this. I was never a fan of Mark Talia. I'm still not 100% fan of Mark Talia, but geez, he's hard to not like.
Yeah, he's takes a lot to put down too when he gets the ball in hand and gets a bit of momentum. But it's not a bad first up squad. You got AJ Lamb, who had a couple of good preseason games. Harry Plummer come on a bit later in the picture, and Wainui Mata after Barrett went off. Barrett was only on for about 20-25 minutes, but Caleb Clark and Rico Ioane. Well, you don't need to go past them if you want a bit of experience. But it'll be interesting to see how they go this year.
Yeah, and of course we've got to give a shout out to Ofa Tungavasi. Because if you do say a name enough, you do know how to pronounce it. So, but why? Because he's playing his 150th Super Rugby game, which I don't care who you play for. That's impressive. 150 Super Rugby games. When you look at Patrick Tuipulotu, who's been there the same length of time, but of course he's been injured. But for 150 games at front row prop, that is a crazy number. I'd be really interested. So congratulations to Offa on that huge accomplishment tomorrow. I still have a shout out for Anton Segner. I just think he is something in the making, all the way from Germany. He's going to be in some sort of wider All Black squad definitely again this year, and he's done the hard yards. Dalton Papali'i, he had a quiet year last year, I thought, so look out for him. And of course, Harry Plummer, well, he's only here until he buggers off to Europe anyway, so he'll be trying to make every post the winner. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I think he leaves after Super Rugby, so I'm unsure on that one. And Ricky Riccatelli, I mean, he's been around for 1,000 years, but I think he's still only something like 28 or something. I feel like he's
pretty young.
So he's still got plenty of juice in the tank, even though, again, he's another hurricane traitor who buggered off from the Canes. But yes, that's enough said about that. So they're your Blues. They're your champion Blues from 2024. We'll have a look at the runners-up now from 2024, and it's my turn. I seem to have picked the easy one. So the Chiefs lineup, we've got Ollie Norris, Brodie McAllister, and George Dyer in the front row. Nataia Arkoi and Josh Lord in the locks. Simon Parker, Kalen Bashir, and Luke Jacobson at number 8. In the backs, we've got Xavier Rowe at 9, Josh Jacob at 10. And then in the centres, we've got Quinn Tupaia, Daniel Rona, and on the wings, we've got Etini Nanai Saturo, Leroy Carter, bit of gas there from the sevens, and some dude called Damien McKenzie at fullback. And then in the subs, we got Bradley Slater, Aidan Ross, Ruben O'Neill, Tupo Vai, Sapapini Finau, Cortez Ratama, Anton Leonard-Brown, and Amoni Nalawa. So only got a couple tongue-tied there. So the Chiefs, are they going to do us all a favour and smash the Blues tomorrow at the Eden Park?
Yeah, well, it's not a bad squad, is it? The bench is quite, there's a bit of impact on the bench there, obviously. Obviously Clayton McMillan's back for another go this year, and he's not a bad coach either. But we'll just see what Damien McKenzie does. But yeah, there's a lot of speed outside of him, so I'm going to pick the Chiefs by 8.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for the Chiefs, and I'll just as they say, jinx you on that. I'll go 8 as well. But I mean, you look at the bench. You got Vai, Finau, Radama, Leonard Brown, Nalawa, Ross, O'Neill. It's an All Black bench.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, it's mind blowing crazy. So basically, and I do know the comments are working. So if anyone's watching, comment away. So we've both gone for the Chiefs to win by 8. And then to round out the game, because we only get 5 games a week here now, because we've only got the 11 teams. This week we've got Queensland Reds having the bye, and they kick off next week. I think they're playing Moana Pacifica, if I'm not wrong. So Moana Pacifica are heading over to Perth to play the Western Force, who I believe are actually playing their 20th season, believe it or not. I saw them. I saw a jersey somewhere saying, with the stylized. I don't know if it's on this particular jersey. Oh yeah, there we go. The swan, and then it's got like a swan head making a 2 and then a 0. So very clever marketing there by them. And of course you got Artie Savia there on the Moana Pacifica side. So we'll just jump straight in to the Western Force team. I'll let you do this one. I'll do Moana Pacifica.
Okay, you want to zoom in a bit for me? Marley Pearce, Nick Dolly, and Tom Robinson in the front row. Jeremy Williams, Darcy Swain. He doesn't need much introduction in the locks. Nick Champion, De Cretney in side of the scrum. Carlo Tizzano on the other side. Violini Ukasi at number 8. Nick White, Ben Donald in the fly half. Hamish Stewart, Steele Tompkinson, Harry Potter, Matt Greeley, and David Palu.
Greeley. Oh, David Palu, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going in number order. And the substitutes?
Tom Morton, Atumoli, Tian Tuakapulu, Reed, Prinsep, Will Harris, Asaki Vines, Leo Wasa, Max Berry, and Dylan Peach round the team out.
Yes. So, as I said earlier, and if you're only just watching, we'll get through these names by the end of the season. So the Western Force, it'll be interesting to see. They've got a few ring-ins there. Nick White, nuggety bloody halfback as he is. I've got a feeling this year, the Western Force, because no one's mentioning them in Australia, I've got a feeling they're going to make their home ground a bit of a fortress. And I think they're going to surprise in 2025. I'm going to have the Western Force in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Can't say I know too much about them. There's only a couple of names there I recognised. Darcy Swain and obviously Nick White, who's played a lot of games for Australia. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go for sure.
Well, with Nick White and Ben Donaldson there, steering the ship, I think that'll be a good move. And of course, they got Harry Potter. I mean, what else can you ask for? Harry Potter, casting the spells over the team. So, So that is my roughie for the year. Is the Western Force. But of course, then we come to Moana Pacifica. Tana Umanga has named the team, and we all know about who's at number 8, but we'll run through it. James Lay, Mills Sanarivi, Feliti Sai Tafa'u, Samuel Slade, Alan Grant, Miracle Fayanga, Sione Havili Talatui, Adi Savia, captain, Jonathan Tamatin, Jackson Garden Bishop, Lalo Milo, that is not a spelling mistake, that is his name. Pepicini Padafilo, Kyron Talmo Falau, Solomon Alamalo, and William Harville. And on the substitute bench, we have Sama Malolo, Tito Tuapolotu, Chris Apua, Tom Savage, Ola Tualangi, Samisi Tupai Taloa, Malani Matavao, and Danny Taloa. So, I think I nailed a couple of those okay. So, we all know Adi Savia. One man, though, does not make our team. He gets, he's got Jackson Garden Bishop there, as we know. He's a journeyman. He's been around a long time. Tamatine, he's been around for a while now as well. James Lay, always there. How do you think? Do you think the Savia effect will kick in?
Yeah, well, I think Moana Pacifica are going to beat the Force. It's obviously Tana Umaga and assistant coach from Wales, believe it or not, Steve Jones. That could be their year, but obviously there's a couple of names missing from last year. But it's good to see William Harville at the back. I think he's probably a better fullback than what he is a fly half. Obviously, you got Garden Bishop in there who is immensely talented. But yeah, Artie Sabri at the back. So it'll be good to see how they go.
Yeah, well, funny you mentioned about missing a few players. Totally shocked to see when in the pre-season when Fiji and Andrea played the Rugby LA or LA Rugby or whatever they want to call themselves, and there was Christian Lealfano playing the first 5 for Rugby LA. So so he's taken the retirement check and gone over to Major League Rugby, which is quite interesting. And but yeah, it's it's an interesting one for Super Rugby this year because I mean we've just gone through the teams. We've got they're all kicking off tonight. Everyone's all excited and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we have to actually who was that on the door? We actually have to pick a winner. So we're going to put ourselves on the spot. Overall Super Rugby champion for 2025 before game 1, Mike.
Oh, you put me on the spot here, Rebs.
That's what I'm here for. Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they will be playing whom you think in the final?
It'll be either the Hurricanes or the Highlanders.
Woo! Okay. Well, there's no point in guessing what I'm going to say. But I'm going to say, and I say it every year, it's the Hurricanes year. It's our time. It's our time to come back, do the business, and I want us to beat the Blues at Wellington Stadium, smashing them to pieces to get the game away from our national stadium and get it back to a stadium where people actually want to watch the game, and hopefully it will be packed out, unlike the NPC final, which was a disappointing piss poor crowd during that competition. So okay, so I'm going Hurricanes to smash the Blues. You're going for the Chiefs to beat the Hurricanes or the Highlanders. So I'll let you have that because it is game 0 at the moment. But really looking forward to that. Now, Josh, if you're still watching, because we've been talking for an hour now, I have got my fantasy team, and I don't know if I can actually bring it up. I'll see if I can. I'll just see if I can throw it over here. Now, this is based on, oopsie daisy. I'll just quickly bring this up and I'll see if I can get this into a full screen mode. Where are we? So I don't have to worry about all the other crap that we have here. Where is our zoom thing? Find, exit, print, zoom. Oh yeah, that'll do. And then I think if I go F11, where's F11? Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm going to bring this up. This is on my own personal. Where's the? Oh, there. Sorry, I'm just chasing the mouse around about 4 different screens. So if I do that and come back to this thing, is this going to let me bloody zoom it in and out? Probably not. So I'll just do this anyway. On Super Brew, you can come on. As I said, the link is on our Heartland page in association with Club Rugby and Super Brew. But my outside backs, and again, same as the normal one. Salary cap is 100 million. You can transfer every day, every week. But basically, I've got Will Jordan, Wright, Nanai Saturo, and Callaway in the backs. The green little thing, I know I can't seem to blow it up, unfortunately, is that's in the starting lineups. Then you've got Harvey. Actually, if I do this and go complete transfers and go like this, it'll be easier to read who I've actually picked. So there you go. Julian Heaven from the Waratahs, Andrew Callaway, Riley Higgins, and Brett Cameron. I've got Cortez Ratama, Hugh Renton, Manaki Silby Rickett, Tom Robinson, Tom Wright, Atini Nanai Saturo, David Harveli, Billy Proctor, Will Jordan, Bowden Barrett, Cameron Roygard, Samisi Paya, Artie Savia, Ethan Blackadder, Fergus Lee Warner, Scott Barrett, Tiana Atua Kipalao, Bradley Slater, and Angus Wagner. Now, once you've picked your team, it's pretty simple to go in here. I might as well just do it while I'm here. So at the moment, if I do this and go swap this guy over, because it will tell you who's starting. I had, what do you call it? Proctor there. So Proctor's not there and Higgins isn't there. So I might have to do a quick change there. Bowden Barrett starting at first. I've got Bowden Barrett starting at first 5, believe it or not. Roygard, and then we've got Paia coming on for Renton. So I'll change that over. It is quite simple to, whoopsie daisy, to do this game. We've got Lee Warner, Selby Rickett. Is he starting? No, I have to come back and sort that out. And then in the front row, we've got Robinson, so I can go like that. And then we've got Slater and then Wagner. And then if I bring him back over there, and then you go, save your starting lineup, and away we go. It's interesting they had a red thing. So there is my first starting lineup for the round 1, with just a couple of changes I need to do before kickoff tonight. So if you can see that, Josh, I've given you the inside running. I'd only like to say that if I go to our dashboard here on Super Rugby, I've only got almost 100,000 caps. So, and I've won a few Super Rugby comps. So I can't get this bloody mouse working. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Better turn that off before some porn shows up on my site. That would be embarrassing. All I'm getting is Temu ads. But yeah, so that is pretty much us for episode 1. But the good thing is, and I'm still having to get used to having a screen in front of me and trying to move the mouse. What are you looking forward to in 2025 other than the Super Rugby and of course Heartland? I'm looking forward to Club Rugby. Kicks off next month or the month after, depending on how big the comps are. Of course, I'm looking forward to the Lions tour. Does the Rugby Championship excite you in 2025?
Yeah, I'm obviously looking forward to Club Rugby. Well, pre-season starts for us in the next month or so, and then into the competition in April, I think it is. But yeah, obviously, this and Heartland is pretty much my go-to. But yeah, just looking forward to seeing more crowds at games and seeing, obviously seeing more club players being given the chance at Heartland level to to show what they can do. And obviously there's coaches that have stepped away, like Sean Cuttons. We should probably do a shout out to him, who's decided to end his tenure with West Coast. But yeah, players going on and coaches going on, it's always good to see, and it's good for the game and good for the rugby union as well.
Yeah, well, funny you should say that. Yes, Sean Cutton's most successful coach, you have to say, because he won the West Coast trophy to Cutty. Been a pleasure working with you, if you see this. But yeah, we should be having an announcement soon on the new coach for the Might of Red and White. And of course, there's a lot of how can I put it? There has been a lot of movement around, but I guess to end the show, because we might as well kill it on the hour, is the biggest movement so far in 2025 was, can you guess what I'm going to say?
No.
All right. Ngāti Pro East Coast has left the Hurricanes. That is the biggest kept under their belt thing I've heard for a long time. There was no inkling of it happening. I've even spoken with the chairman at East Coast, no inkling. I've spoken to people at the Chiefs, no inkling. Even Bay of Plenty, no inkling. And then all of a sudden, bang, they've gone and joined. which makes sort of sense. They play a lot of pre-season games in Opotiki. I'm surprised Poverty Bay haven't followed suit, but they may do. I just want to know, and a question to any Chiefs people out there, does that mean the Hurricanes can have Taranaki back? So yeah, so that's something to look forward to see how, because I mean, how if they're part of the Chiefs now, East Coast could be doing a deal with some development players from those regions to go and play Heartland. So it's a very shrewd move by Ngāti Porou. So be interesting to see how they go. I'm still a fan of Ngāti Porou East Coast. I always will be. So we'll end the show with a big Hiwi Ngāti, and yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday to wrap up round one. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I was just looking at my bit of paper, and there's still at least 6 Heartland unions to announce their coaching teams for 2025: North Otago, South Canterbury, King Country, Poverty Bay, West Coast, and Bulla.
Yeah,
and
well, I think Craig might be back.
All the rest have been locked in, I think.
Yeah. Well, new coaching team at Wairarapa Bush as well. Name escapes me. Sorry, Wire Bush fans.
Jamie Williams.
Jamie Williams, that's it. Yeah. Ex-OBU coach from the Wellington Club rugby scene. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So, thank you, Mike, for showing up late morning, afternoon here in New Zealand for the show, for our first for the year. As I said, we will get stuck into all the results and hopefully highlights, because at the end of the day, if we show highlights and we get blocked, I'll be sending a personal email to the CEO who said, share our stuff. We need all the podcasters. We need the fans to be engaged. So if you do, please don't block us. That's all I'm asking. Because if you want us to be engaged, let us have the stuff, because there's a lot of people out there who will not be paying certain subscription fees to watch games, and they'd rather just see the highlights that will be on Facebook anyway for free. So yeah, so it's not like we're making any money. You don't see any, what do you call it, advertising here from Ineos from us. Well, I hope I haven't let that slip to the dudes in Europe. Yeah, Ineos. That's another story, isn't it? But we can always cross that bridge at another date, maybe near rugby championship time. So it's goodbye from me.
Yeah. Good luck to all the teams tonight, coaches, managers, and I'll be out at the Southern Rugby Club rooms attending a social event and watching the Crusaders and Hurricanes tonight, so I'll be having a few beverages, always drinking responsibly, of course. But yeah, until next time, it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, and we'll go out with a bit of a sing-song from our credits, and yeah, we'll see you all on Tuesday, hopefully around 10 a.m. for getting straight back into Tuesday Rugby Chat. Mike, thank you for joining me. To everyone watching, thank you. And we'll see you all on Tuesday. See you all.
Get out of it, mate. See you all.